All right, this is an album cover coming at you with Game 2 of Best of 3 series between Kodiac and possibly a laggy computer. Between Kodiac, who is the pink Protoss here on Lost Temple at the 6 o'clock position, and Denwo, who is the red Terran at the 3 o'clock position. So Kodiak does play... Kodiak does play random, and this game he did get Protoss. So it'll be interesting to see how he plays as Protoss. In Game 1, he did take the victory with Mass Expand Zerg. And so it'll be interesting to see if he's going to Mass Expand as Protoss or see just kind of how he goes. He is going to go ahead and look like maybe start a wall off, as well as Denwo is going to do the same. Anyway, this is, gosh, I think this might be the semifinals or finals of the losers bracket of the ACM Starcraft 2 Double Elimination Tournament. So very, very action-packed. The loser of this series will go home, and the winner will go on and advance throughout the tournament. So Kodiak going to go ahead and find Denwo on the first scout. While they are not at the nearest position, they are at the middlest nearest position. So a lot of times what Protoss will do is use the probe to attack the SCV working on the barracks right here. But actually he chooses to attack another SCV, and they switch SCVs with just 5 HP left, so just barely managed to save that SCV. And as a result of that good micro, Denwo is up a worker right now. So in the beginning, all that little stuff matters. Kodiak is going to go ahead and fully wall off with 2 gate, and then build another pylon. I'm going to go ahead and say thank you to our sponsor, Navigus. They have really helped out with the tournament a lot, and by giving door prizes and printing out the standings poster, and it's like it covers the entire wall. It's huge. So thank you very much, Navigus, for that, and for allowing us to have an awesome tournament like this. So Denwo going to go ahead and get a tech lab on his first barracks, throw up another barracks. And let's see, he's just got 1 gas, so probably not going to see Reapers. Usually if people are going for at least a lot of Reapers, they will get 2 gas, just because Reapers are 50 minerals and 50 gas. So you do need 2 gas to be able to keep up there a lot at the time. So we're going to see Kodiak go 2 gates and the Cyber Core, so put on some pressure with the 2 gate, looks like, and before teching up to Stalkers and beyond. So he's got 3 Stalkers right here that look like they're not going to do a whole lot against this wall, because we do have 2 barracks right here, 1 Marauder already out, and let's see, concussive shells not started yet. But let me open up the production tab, that'd be a whole lot easier. And we have a reactor on the other barracks. So these Zealots are not going to be able to do a whole lot. Actually, is that a wall-off? Is that a complete wall-off or not? I'm not... He's attacking the reactor, but it looks like he could almost just attack that Marauder. I'm not exactly sure. That reactor does almost go down before enough SCVs come in to attack it. And that Zealot actually... yeah, I guess that is a complete wall-off. That Zealot does take a long time to go down by that Marauder, and meanwhile this other supply depot is gonna go down in the time it takes for this Zealot to die, and for just barely saves it. So just in the nick of time, Denwo pulls those SCVs around to the other side, and Kodiak keeping the pressure on. His playstyle, from what I've seen, is very aggressive. And now that he has 2 Zealots up there, he can damage the supply depot faster than it can actually be repaired. If you pull this other Zealot over here on the other side, he can actually possibly take it down. But with the second Marauder here on the way, it's by Denwo, it's not looking good, and both these Zealots do die. So when you look at the unit loss tab, you do see that Denwo has not lost nearly as much as Kodiak. However, Kodiak has bought himself a lot of time by keeping this pressure on there, and really he's really messed with Denwo's head a lot. That's an aspect that a lot of people don't necessarily readily take into consideration, the fact that Denwo just barely held that off, and so now he's going to be a little bit more passive and a little bit more defensive, and especially after last game where Denwo it took him a long time to find Kodiak's base or bases. Then it's really put a mental kind of thing in aspect into the game. So Denwo is going to go ahead and throw up that bunker just to be safe with these 5 zealots out here. It's not a bad idea, although he does have plenty of troops now to hold that off. Looking at the production tab, okay, we do have we've got Ghost Tech, so we're going to see Ghost starting with more energy. Of course, that's very good against Protoss. Just EMP is just insanely ridiculous against Protoss. 2 or 3 Ghosts just can EMP an entire army, and then basically you just have their HP. So very, very wise decision there. I really hope we're going to see nukes. I doubt it, but that would just be awesome if we did. Looking here at the Protoss base, because we've been focused on the Terran for a while, we do, of course, have warp research, and we do have a warp prism on the way, as well as a Phoenix and several more Phoenix being chrono boosted out. So this warp prism could be great with these, because he's already got all these zealots out here. He can just load them up in this warp prism and drop them right over here, or even if you wanted to drop them way over here, and use the units he already has and be effective with them. A lot of times people will have units and figure, oh, well, I can't get into his base, I can't, something like that, and then just not use the units or keep them set at the base. But and I'm going to warp in more units right now. So these zealots could definitely cause a lot of damage right now if Denwo does not micro them efficiently. I don't know why he's running his army away from the probe line. He needs to get his SCVs out of there because this just going to eat up those SCVs. Looking at the units lost tab, we do see, of course, Denwo losing a lot more units now. Even though he's still lost lessons as far as mineral value, he did lose, I think, a lot of SCVs. Look at the income tab. Yeah, Denwo's down to 11 SCVs compared to 21. And, of course, he's just warping in more and more zealots. I feel like he needs to go ahead and get this warp prism out of there so he doesn't lose it, because I feel like these zealots are not going to be able to hold off this entire army. But he's going to keep this here, and as a result, he's going to lose that. No, he's not. That warp prism just barely gets out of there. So very good job, Kodiak, in getting that out there and keeping it safe. He's got lots of Phoenix right now, which are super, super fast and great for map control. And good, of course, if the Terran goes tanks. But right now, we only see one factory, and that factory basically just there for the reactor so that Denwo can get a lot of medevacs. And then Denwo goes for another barrack. So I really don't think we're going to see a lot of tanks this game, or at least not yet. We haven't seen. Okay, we do have one ghost being produced and no ghost in the field yet. So when that does happen, that of course is going to help Denwo out a very lot. Now we do have a probe way over here next to this gold expansion, and we do know how Kodiak likes his gold expansions. So we could possibly see some sort of gold expansion sort of hidden, and if Denwo doesn't spot that again, similar to last time, he may follow the same trick of just assuming that he knows how much his opponent has and really is very off. So we've got all these Phoenix right here. We do have 1 missile turret, 2 missile turret, 3 there, so he's definitely got enough to one-shot SCVs and mules. I'm not sure if he's got enough Phoenix to one-shot Marauders or not yet, but definitely still being as aggressive as he can, and he's got a lot of gas. Needs to do something with that gas, and Denwo this game is doing a lot better as far as keeping on top of his macro. Now this Phoenix, it looks like it's just going to try to scout there, and looks like it will see this army. However, this army is loading up in these medevacs, and if he is going to drop them, because it looks like he does see this on his map. I sure hope so. Otherwise, he could be in for a real surprise when all of these zealots just come dropping in his base. He actually does not see these units, so this is really going to be bad. Kodiak did great placement as far as placing them where Denwo cannot see them. He saw them now, though, and looks like he did EMP with that ghost, and these zealots are just going to fall incredibly fast now that they have no shield. This ghost has 12 HP left, but getting out of there very quickly, and all those units just fall, and escaping with just two Phoenix. So not very good there. That EMP just completely almost negated that attack. These Phoenix have such a low amount of health. This one Marine is attacking from the top of the ramp against these zealots, but he immediately gets cut in half by these zealots. So looking at the army, Denwo definitely has a much larger army, and he's going to go ahead and push across to this. These three zealots are not going to be able to hold this off. Although it looks like Denwo did just tell them to move, so Kodiak is going to get a couple free kills actually before he can actually take out those three zealots. So which will give Kodiak some time to make some sort of army, but he's getting Nexus right now, and he really has way too much gas at the moment. He really can't afford a whole lot as far as zealots, just because they're so expensive, each being 100 apiece, and I guess that's really not expensive. But when you have 1,400 gas and 200 minerals, you want something that is mineral heavy instead. So these zealots are just going to chill here. It looks like maybe try for a pincer attack if Denwo does come to his front gate. Go ahead and get this Nexus, so that actually going ahead and not opting to kill the destructible rocks. Just going to plant this Nexus right here, just for a quick mining, although he's not actually producing anything from it. And looks like this army is somehow going to move up. It looks like, okay, he did spot this Nexus, so he is going to come in here and take this out. This is the worst possible time for him to attack, because it just finished, and he's going to take it down so quickly. He just can't cancel it, of course, because it did just finish. So Denwo just make up a lot of ground right there. Now, he does have his army out here in the field. Kodiak does have several zealots. I feel like he needs to do a little bit more than just zealots now, though. These zealots are going to split this army and end up killing it. Denwo basically has either got it rally pointed or just told him to move. And as a result of that, his army was split and not good. They get EMP'd, and then they're just going to fall so very, very quickly to these Marines and Marauders with still don't have concussive shells. I feel like that is definitely something worthwhile to invest into. And still, looking at Kodiak, he's got way too much gas. He's almost got 2,000 gas. He really needs to take his natural expansion instead of trying to go for anything fancy like a gold expansion. Because he drastically needs minerals right now, because he keeps pouring them into these zealots, and if he can't make something happen soon, he is going to be in really bad shape, and he might already be in too bad a shape actually right now. This army is pretty massive. Denwo has over a 40 food count advantage over Kodiak, and it's just not looking very good for Kodiak at all. Denwo is moving across with Marine, Marauder, Medivacs, and a few Vikings. And I know that Kodiak sees that, but he's really not going to be able to do anything about it, and I believe that's got to be a good game. Got this Marine out here scouting, very good. Hopefully Denwo learned that, Kodiak will try to expand crazily and in the most inopportune times for Denwo. So looks like this is probably going to go to Denwo. I can't see it not going to Denwo. That one Void Ray getting taken out by those Marines very quickly. So really, EMP stopped Kodiak's attack from the start, and really turned the tide, I think, for Denwo, because Kodiak was applying the pressure very early game and kept the pressure up with his drops and warps and everything like that. So very good job, Denwo, and this will go on to the third game, best of 3. And I'll see you then, and Album Cover sign off.